Hello everybody, Jardian here. I apologize for the wait, but I am finally making my follow-up video on the Swordier Katana-Chokuto hybrid. It's been quite a while. I had about half of this footage filmed months ago, then I went out west on a fire crew, and now I'm back and I decided to kind of redo the whole thing. So the biggest changes since my last video were that I took the lanyard off, I polished the blade, which you might not be able to see too well now that it's got some stains on it, and I did give it a sharpen. As I expected, the blade sharpened up very well from what it came as. So in this video, the main things I wanted to do were to cut some more targets that I didn't do the first time, see how the cutting performance changed with a proper sharpening, and do a bit more durability testing than I did previously. I hope you enjoy. These will be my first cuts after sharpening the sword. Let's see how this Kissaki holds up to some abuse. You can see it's currently at a very nice, sharp, and pointy angle. Once again, this ninja handguard being very uncomfortable when kind of sharp on the edges. Not much damage from that. That is still nice and pointy. And impressively, there was no breakage at the end of that tip there. That is definitely a pretty strong geometry, and I'm impressed we didn't get a little snap at the end. This is an old dried out chestnut oak. It's my throwing target. It's been thrown at for years. It's got all sorts of dirt and debris in it, and it's just a really tough piece of wood. Let's see how this thing holds up. That is a very deep cut into that piece of wood. Oh man, I could pick up this entire thing right now. I'll do a bit of flexibility. I'm definitely going to be standing on the opposite side of the tension there. And that's about as much as I'm comfortable doing, but let's see. Very nice. All right. As expected, there's a lot of visual damage from striking into that oak round there. However, there are no chips that I detect. Obviously, this edge is noticeably duller. That would dull just about anything, I'd say. But I'm very impressed that there is no visible rolling that I see. Maybe something right there near my fingernail, but no major chips or rolls. Birds are already enjoying the pumpkin seed snack. Didn't take them but a few minutes after I finished cutting. Alright, so this angle here really shows off that scratching from when I was whaling into that oak round. And this scratching is about what I would expect from doing that, especially on a 1060 blade. There's definitely a lot of abrasion in there. But speaking of scraping, after my Dragon Sword video, I actually did buy an HRC tester kit. And I figured if I haven't used it on this channel before, today is the day. On a 1060 blade like this, I would expect low 50s, so between 50 and 55. I am not a pro at this, but I've tried it a few times, and so far as I've tried this 50, it's been glancing off the blade, so the 50 is not biting into this blade. And then at the 55, yeah, I'm getting that scraping in there. And if anyone was curious and wanted a close-up, these hair-like marks are where the 55 was biting in, and here's where I was using the 50. So not much scratching at all compared to these three lines that I tested with the 55. All right, everybody, let's finally get to closing thoughts so I can get this video out here. Let's start with the cutting. I hope it was evident how much of a difference it made having this sharpened. It was extremely easy to sharpen, and it only took me one session with my 400-1000 grit stone, and then a bit of stropping to get the edge perfectly acceptable for all the cutting I did today. I think it being easy to sharpen is a big upside. It's a really good beginner's tool, and it's better to learn sharpening on something like this than one of your more expensive blades. The polishing was harder than I expected, but it did get a decent finish before I stained it again, and for anyone who didn't like the fake hamon on there, that was the first thing to come off when I polished it, so nothing to worry about on that end. It polished off pretty easily. Durability-wise, I was very impressed. I wasn't trying to break the sword today, but this was definitely harder than the way I would use any of my other swords. My Hanwei XL Lite, for example, which is a similar wide and thin spine sword, took a set after only one swing into a cutting stand when I let a friend cut with it. This, on the other hand, I would gladly give this to people coming over. There's not a lot to mess up, and don't have to feel bad if they beat it up in any way. The Swordier 1060 steel here really impressed me. I had another $99 1060 blade a long time ago, and it was a piece of junk. It didn't flex at all, and it took multiple sets when I tried to do light abuse with it, like cutting through branches. When this thing is really more of a spring steel and held up great. I also know that 1060 is very popular for other durable blades like the Ronin Katana Dojo Pros, but this is the first time I've seen it done as a thin, flexible blade like this. I like it, and I like that it kept this blade at a reasonable price. As far as the dynamics go, this has become one of my favorite swords to train with since my first video. I've been getting a bit of an elbow problem, which keeps me from using my swords very much, but this being only 2 pounds, but still having that nice forward point of balance to make it feel like a katana, has definitely made it a top contender for me for what I'm going to take out that day. Overall, just dynamics are very fun, it moves around very nice without being sluggish, and it cut everything that I would want to cut. Overall, just like I said in that first video, I'm a big fan of this for the price. I think it's a great value, and it would be a great first sword or a beater sword for your collection. There's a lot of people who want to cut up brush and stuff with their katanas, and this is a sword I would recommend for that. Very fun to use, not a lot to mess up, and it's really not going to break the bank even if you don't like it. If nothing else, I hope this video was helpful in showing you what you can expect with a blade like this, and what it'll hold up to. I thank you all for watching, I appreciate your patience, and I hope you have a good one.